All right, hey Michiana, I'm meteorologist Emmett Toomey. We are live in Bourbon, Indiana, following last night's severe thunderstorms that rolled through the area, central Michiana, between 6 to 9 o'clock in Bourbon, one of the hardest areas hit. At least that's what, according to the local storm reports from the National Weather Service. So I'm here live right now. I'm on the corner of Crocus Court and Rose Lane. This is in Bourbon, right next to Triton High School. So pretty much everywhere you look, there's going to be damage. Now, the biggest question is, are we going to be seeing that survey come out from the National Weather Service, and what is it going to be saying? So enough of my face. I'm just going to kind of show you around here at one gentleman's house. He let me kind of walk around and just examine the property a little bit. So keep in mind, so these are all down trees here on the side of the road. How's it going? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now, before we get to the damage, one thing I want to say, the people of Bourbon, Indiana, some of the nicest people I think I will ever meet in my life. One lady just stopped and handed me a water bottle. That's what you guys heard there. So let's talk about this damage real quick. Down trees, cut up trees. This is kind of the biggest thing we're noticing pretty much all around the area. Now, as we take a look up the driveway, you'll notice, of course, just one of the many houses that were impacted by this severe thunderstorm. So you can see these metal stilts here. Can't really see them because it's kind of dark, but obviously foundation, there's that flexed up side of the garage there. Security cameras, here's the stilts that are holding these up. Gentleman said these are one of the only things holding his garage up right now. So as you take a look up the patio, I just kind of want to show you what we're watching for here. So obviously you have your kind of tilted pillars right there. You have some exposed roofing. That's the biggest thing. But I kind of want to point your attention down here. Take a look at this. That is an impaled twig or log, whatever you like to call it, limb of a branch stuck into this man's siding over here. And that is exactly like a bullet. It's a projectile, and that is one of the things we talk about in severe thunderstorms. It is projectile damage, taking things that otherwise seem mundane, throwing them into the side of houses. So overwhelmingly, you know, it doesn't look that out of place. There it is compared next to the window. But, well, let me tell you, it takes a lot of wind. It takes a very high velocity wind to take something like a twig or a snapped limb and launch into the side of a house. Not just that, but also injecting itself basically into the side of the house. That is the biggest thing here. Now, there was a truck here as well in the driveway. Gentleman took it back because it does need to be repaired naturally. But in the side of that truck was also a bolt, probably about 4 or 5 inch long bolt that just absolutely skewered the side of his car. I mean, we're talking rubber and metal here, and it went through the side of the car like it was nothing. Now, it wasn't a full impalement, but it was strong enough that it really, really looked convincing. And a lot of this, it could be straight line winds, yes. But the biggest question here today in Bourbon is, were these straight line winds or were these tornadoes? That is the biggest thing here. Now, I'm not going to take you all the way down, but here's just one debris pile from this man's house. And he said it himself. He didn't really even get the worst of it. That's his neighbors down the road here. Now, I can walk a little bit around. I obviously am not trying to go too deep into people's personal property. You know, last thing you need is somebody shoving a camera in your face overall. But I mean, we have everybody here. We have lawn care. We have roofing, we have electrical. Everybody is out in Bourbon, Indiana right now. So I kind of want to show you just up close as well. So more debris piles here, shingle, siding, just everything kind of strewn about as well. You have more debris piles over there. Now, the other big thing, the question is this a tornado? Is this just straight line winds? Well, one of the things we look for, especially in a tornado, those rotating winds, that is the biggest thing here. So the side of the house has a lot of damage, obviously. Exposed attic, that's the biggest thing. Tarping covering it. This gentleman's had a lot of good friends help him out. But just look at some of these divots. You have some that only crack the siding. But look at these. That is a shingle. A shingle, it's soft. A shingle inserting itself into the side of the house here. And that is a very strong wind. Of course, you have windows that are completely cracked. We're not going to go anywhere near that. But in general, I mean, you just have the entire side of this house that has these little divots. They look like almost like bullet chunks, if you will, like kind of that shrapnel being kicked off. And that's the biggest thing here. Some of them are tiny, just barely under that lip, and some of them, I mean, there you can see yourself. Some of them are shingles like that. Now, the worst damage right now seems to be down the corner of Rose and Crocus. That is in downtown Bourbon, or not downtown Bourbon, excuse me. right next to Triton High School. So we'll take a walk down there. But overwhelmingly, we're just going to let these people be. Make sure that, you know, they have the space to kind of recover and recoup. But here, let me just show you some of these. Now, thankfully, there are, like I mentioned, hundreds of people here. I've talked to people from Elkhart. I've talked to people from Mishawaka. There's little kids right now walking around with a blowhorn saying, "Who wants free pizza?" You know, it's just everybody is out and about. And that is the biggest thing here. So Triton High School is right next to us. We're actually going to have one of our ABC57 drones go up and hopefully get kind of an outdoor path of everything that's going on. But I mean, that field, mangled objects all over it. That's kind of the biggest thing we're noticing here. And it is busy. I mean, you have people handing out free water, people handing out cookies. You have people handing out pizzas, people handing out pop. And everybody is helping one another. That is the biggest thing I'm noticing here. People rolling by a golf cart saying, "Hey, are you okay? Hey, do you need something?" Guys, I'm just a weatherman, you know? It's the people here who are helping each other out. Some houses are unscathed. Other houses weren't so lucky. And you can see that tarp just kind of fluttering in the wind right there. I understand I only have one person watching right now. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know. I will answer them to the best of my ability. Right now, we're just kind of on the corner of Rose Lane, and we're just kind of heading up and down the street here, just seeing what's up and about. But overwhelmingly, that damage is concentrated here in Bourbon, Indiana. And the biggest question is, are we going to be waiting on that severe storm survey? Is it going to be a tornado? Is it going to be a severe thunderstorm? Could be straight line winds. It absolutely could. The National Weather Service has that jurisdiction. That's what we're going to be watching for here. Now, I am going to wrap this stream up pretty quickly, I'd imagine, just because there's other things to do. But to recap, tree limbs strewn about. You have power lines as well. Pieces of roofing just completely torn off. Shingles bent. Shingles being used as projectiles and being launched into the sides of houses. So this is widespread damage, mainly in Bourbon, mainly in Marshall County. We've already had the National Weather Service come through here. We've already had Marshall Emergency Management come through here. But, I mean, it is widespread. You can see one more truck passing behind me here. They're collecting wood from trees and all of those splintered plants and everything else that's just kind of in and around Michiana. Now, this driveway had trucks in it, no longer does. But those trucks had things impaled on the side of them too. So, you know, it is widespread all up and down this street. It is just nothing but people helping each other and people getting along and people being really nice to me as well. I mean, you know, the last thing you want is somebody shoving a face in your camera, but here we are. And they have been nothing but nice to me. And I'm super appreciative of that. So we will see. Please tune into ABC57 News. We have our newscast 5 to 6:30 p.m. tonight on Eastern Daylight Time, and then 10 and 11 again tonight. I will be live here from Bourbon, Indiana, likely down this street here on Rose Lane, just kind of recapping everything we've seen, updates on the damage, everything like that. If you do have questions, please feel free to reach out to me, reach out to any of the ABC57 crew. I am going to end things here. Got my camera gear over there, and we'll